If you're a heat and air conditioning technician or even a salesperson, what's one thing that you can look for in a new organization or a new company, and why does it matter? This is a super important question. I'm Scott Sylvan Bell, coming to your life for HVAC Technician Sales Secrets on a perfect day to talk about sales and a perfect day to talk about you. So here's the thing. You may be looking to go switch to a new company, to a new organization, to a new platform. And you say, hey, Scott, what are some things that I could look at that are really going to help me determine if I'm making the right choice? And I'm like, I'm glad you asked. That's a super important question. And so one of the things that you could look at is the caliber of the talent of the people that you're going to be working with, depending upon your industry, right? So if you're a salesperson, there's going to be other salespeople. You should be saying, hey, what is their caliber? Are they down here? Are they middle of the road? Is there somebody that's a closer that I could look up to? And the reason I bring this up is in most organizations that are good, you're going to have top talent in that room because it's a good organization. They may have had people leave, so it's not always a sign. So if you're like, hey, Scott, I'm looking at a company and they don't have any awesome good closers and I can go there and I can close everything, start asking questions like, tell me about the best person who's been here. Tell me about your best salesperson. What do they close? Tell me about the type of leads that they meet with. Tell me about the type of leads that they run. It depends upon the industry. So modify this as you need for the industry that you're working in. But you should really be asking about your internal competition. And this may sound wacky, but you want good people on the team. You want good people to sell against because it's a sign that it's a good organization. Now, if you go into an organization and there's not a lot of top talent, one, if people have left, that happens. It could be the natural progression of what's going on. Two, it could be a sign that there's something wrong inside of the organization. And this is a possibility. So remember, when you go looking for red flags, you're going to find them. So we're going to go look for some yellow flags. We're going to go say, hey, we're going to dig in. We're going to ask some questions and say, what's going on here? Help me understand, where did all the closers go? Why do people who have talent skills up here avoid this place, avoid this location? And why do we have people here? And why do we have a whole bunch of people here? And at the end of the day, the answer that you get may help you out. And this is, you should join my list. Like right here, my email list. I give you the goods, not in the Facebook group, not in the YouTube channel, right? And what that means is extra training for you, extra coaching for you, or discounted training and discounted coaching. I got to pay for all my fun, right? I don't think there's anything wrong with that. You understand that it took a lot for me to get to where I'm at, okay? So start looking and saying, hey, what kind of people would I be working with at this organization? And then cross-reference that. There's a second point here, is the money. The money, right? This is the international sign for money. This is the international sign for pay me. So pay me money. You should be looking at, is the pay proper for the industry? Now, there's a couple of different ways to look at this. Some companies pay like way up here when you close at a percentage, and some companies pay way down here when you close at a percentage. This company that's way up here may have few leads. This company down here may have a ton of leads. So it can't just be money for the sake of money. You kind of have to dig in and come up with your own mathematical equation. So a couple of questions I'd ask. Well, tell me about the pay plan. Well, we pay all the way up here for this client, and we pay down here for this client. Like, what's the mix? Is this client 50%? Is it 10%? Is it 3%? It's 50-50. Okay, well, I can live with that. And if they go, hey, we pay down here, but we've got tons of leads. Okay, now we got a different question. Are they qualified leads? Are they the type of people who buy? Are they the type of people who pay for the services that you offer? Or are they the people that are down here and they complain about everything? They're difficult. They don't ever want to do anything. They're always upset. They're never okay with what's going on. Right? You really got to ask about this disparity. So one, tell me about the salespeople on the team. I mean, I don't need names, but kind of give me a rundown. How good are they at what they do? Well, I've got a young team. We're rebuilding. Okay. Here's the clue. Why are you rebuilding? Well, we lost a couple of salespeople. Okay, why'd you lose a couple of salespeople? Well, a couple of them moved. One went to Florida. One went to Montana. One went to Idaho. One wherever, right? One went to Hawaii. One went to Hawaii. What's up, bro? One went to Hawaii. They're like, I want out. Okay. Or we had to let a couple of them go because they were doing things that were unethical. All right. Well, I mean, every time that somebody gives you a reason, that's an option for you to dig in and start asking some questions and say, what about, what if, how come, what's the situation? And there's nothing wrong with doing this. I mean, if you are interviewing for a sales job and you're sitting down with me and you're asking these questions, I'm like, freaking awesome. Like, you're doing your job as a salesperson. You're doing your job asking questions. Like, this is the hallmark of being a good salesperson, asking really good questions that are like not really the ones on the table. But here's the thing. You put me in a job interview and you're like, hey, Scott, you know, we just rebuilt our sales team. Okay, well, cool. Tell me about that. You know, you have the opportunity to probe. And if they shut you down and they're like, we're not talking about that, we can't talk about that. Like, hey, I got to tell you, I don't go searching for red flags. I was seeing a couple of yellow ones, but now that you're telling me that, I've got some red ones. We got to alleviate this, or I'm just going to take you off the table for a reason for me to work here. Okay. Very calm, very polite, but realize if you're switching companies and you're like, hey, Scott, what's something that I should look for that nobody ever talks about? The caliber of people on your team really do matter, because you're going to, like me, you put me in a room full of closers, I want to perform at what they're doing or better. I do. Do I do it all the time? No, because I'm a human being and I screw up and I make mistakes. But that's the caliber. Like, you know, I think of salespeople that I've been on teams with, and there's this guy that's up here, right? And I'm like, I want to do all the stuff that he's doing. I want to emulate that type of success. When I'm on a team, been around teams that are like down here, I find and have found that most salespeople try to, like, 80% of them will be in that pool down there with the people who aren't doing it. There you go. You got 1 of 3 things to do from here. Just 1 of 3. Find the subscribe button. Click on it. That will send you a notice every time that I send out a video. You can hit follow, or you can share with a friend. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching.